Welcome back to Skyways to Highways, where we are sharing our journey with you mile by mile from St. Petersburg, Florida, all the way up and through Alaska.
I'm Fred. This is Goldie.
And I'm Christy. So last episode where we just left off, we left you in North Sioux City, South Dakota. Our next big journey was from North Sioux City, South Dakota to Rapid City, South Dakota. And you guys, that was a 425-mile day. The first thing we noticed was the Dignity statue, which was off the side of the interstate. You're going to see this massive, huge statue that you don't want to miss.
We continued on the journey all the way across South Dakota, from one end to the other end. That's why it was a long day. But we pushed through it. On our way, we made a couple stops. One of them was to Wall Drug. Wall Drug Store had been around for almost over 100 years. Their claim to fame was 5-cent coffee and free water for everybody. So that was kind of cool. We did get lunch there. I got the Bison burger. I would pass on it. I would not have it again because it looked like a pre-made patty from some restaurant vendor like U.S. Food. And then we went on to Black Hawk Creek,
where we stayed at Black Hawk Creek RV Park for 4 nights. Now, this was our home base because we were able to secure a doggy daycare for Goldie to go to so that we were able to go and explore Custer State Park, which was absolutely phenomenal. Not only were we blessed with incredible weather that day, we were able to take the roof off of our Jeep so I could stand up and take shots. Immediately once we started driving through Custer State Park, just these bison, literally in the dozens, were just walking down these prairies. As you can see here, all of the bison that we saw.
Some, I guess, pack mules or donkeys, which are just wild because
Burros.
Burros. But that was really cool. That was a neat stop.
We saw the Burros holding up traffic. We also stopped for lunch. They had a little diner as you're traveling through Custer State Park. There was a lodge that we stopped at. We had lunch and I had the best bison burger I have ever had.
That was much better.
That was much better.
Yeah, that was handmade patty. It wasn't pressed.
Highly recommend this cute little lodge, as you can see. Then we continued down Needles Highway. It has all of these switchbacks and then these tunnels that we drive through. They're 1-lane tunnels that you drive through. And as you're coming out, I had no idea. Thank God I was filming. As you're coming out, you start to see Mount Rushmore in the distance. Mount Rushmore, carved between 1927 and 1941 and still one of the most iconic sites in America. Walking through the Avenue of Flags on the country's 250th birthday made it feel like the timing couldn't have been any more perfect. 14 million people visit this place every year, and standing here, you understand why.
Next day, we went from Rapid City over to Devil's Tower. That was really cool. It was only about 100 miles. It was a quick day. And we went to a KOA. It was the most expensive KOA we've stayed at so far. It was like $110 for one night. But to give it credit, you're right there at the entrance to the park, which we did the tour of walking all around Devil's Tower. That was really cool. Plus, whenever you walked out your coach, you could always see the tower. And it was a beautiful day. It was just spectacular. And you'll see some video about that too. And if my voice sounds raspy, is because the farther we go up north, it's becoming spring everywhere. And I got a touch of bronchitis and I'm trying to get rid of it.
We'll get him better soon. The sky completely turned up. It was absolutely beautiful. Devil's Tower. Yes, we did do the hike like Fred said. And then we saw these little ribbons tied on all these trees. And as you can see here, the indigenous people that still worship and pray here actually tie these little ribbons. It's called like a ribbon of prayer. Well, hubby and I did also. I had 2 braids in that day. I took one of my braids out and tied it around a tree and we said our prayer. So that was a really neat experience. Devil's Tower is absolutely amazing. Also at that KOA, they do a live showing every night, rain or shine, at 8 p.m. of Close Encounters of the Third Kind. So super cool to check it out if you are in the area. The KOA, yes, was a little bit pricey. You're right at the entrance, literally, of the national park. And our next day, we headed off to Peter D's RV park in Sheridan, Wyoming. Now, you guys, we were actually not even going to do this long push the next day because the weather, as you can see here, we were dodging weather. We almost just stayed because the weather, the rain was so bad. 15 minutes before checkout, we made the executive decision to pack up super fast, haul butt out of there, and head on to Peter D's RV park, where we ended up spending 3 nights. He took cash, $50 cash per night. Absolutely beautiful campground. Their bathrooms were like a bathroom at home. He really takes care of his grounds, and he put us all the way in the back, right across from the dog park. As you can see, Goldie met all kinds of fun dogs, other golden retrievers. She had so much fun playing there. We woke up a couple of mornings, we would see deer out our front window.
Oh yeah, the deer were awesome.
Yes, and then also this is where Fred recognized the leak that you'll see a video. I'll post it for you guys to check up on, but where Fred found the big leak that we had.
I finally found the leak that she saw, and I wound up fixing it with multiple trips to Home Depot.
It's a great home base to just kind of plant our feet. We ended up having a really great dinner there at the local chop house. Actually, Peter D, because we stayed at Peter D's RV park, he gave us a $20 appetizer, free appetizer credit for this chop house that you're about to see, and it was incredible. And then
from Sheridan, Wyoming, we went to Billings, Montana. Another quick drive, 130 miles. Of course, we've got to make stops for Goldie now and then. Went to the Yellow River RV Park. That's the name of the campground. And that was $72 a night. Not to mention, we ate dinner downtown at a place called the Burger Dive. And it was great burgers. Apparently, they're award-winning restaurant, and they're known for their burgers. And they were really good. And we also had those shakes, too.
Yes, I was going to say, Fred let us have dessert before dinner that night.
They did have a great dog park, and there were lots of deer in the area. I mean, you'd see them pop up, especially in the early morning and at dusk. From there, we went from Billings to Island Park, Idaho, which was
256 miles. They did give us a Good Sam discount for 10% off. It was a little bit pricey, but mind you, this was also Memorial Day weekend. We stayed 3 nights. We paid $308 for the 3 nights. However, we were able to secure a dog walker there. So one of the people at the front desk started a dog walking program where she offered for the tourists a dog walking service where they would come every couple hours, play with your dog. They did have a fenced-in dog park, so we were able to visit
throughout Yellowstone, which was really cool because the traffic wasn't there yet. The season had just kind of opening up. So that was really cool. We saw everything we wanted to see.
Yep. We got there nice and early in the morning. We actually did a preliminary trial. So we went there the first day just to get a lay of the land. Made a couple little off the beaten path turns. As you can see here, what we saw the first day was not the grand prismatic, but we did see some of the prisms. We saw some of the mini geysers, just water literally bubbling out of the ground. I've never seen anything. It's almost like we landed in another planet. We were able to get the lay of the land and drive about halfway through the loop, turn around, come back, get Goldie, have dinner. And then the next morning we woke up. What did we see outside?
I don't remember.
The mama moose.
The mama moose. Baby moose.
Yeah, the baby moose. We wake up our very first morning to a massively huge mama moose with her baby huddled in right below her. It was so beautiful and quiet. This is why the early bird gets the first worm. You always want to get up early in these places because you never know what you're going to see out your window.
And speaking of getting up early, the park is actually, all these national parks are pretty much open 24 hours. It's just that the guard shacks and the entrance opens up around 7. So we made sure we were there just about 15 minutes prior to 7, and the line was already starting. But because we got there so early, and we left before the mass of humanity came in the late afternoon. So we had a great day. We saw everything. There was no traffic, no nothing. Lots of animals, lots of bison.
And the second day we went, that was when we waited in line to see the Old Faithful geyser. Now, mind you, Old Faithful goes off every
hour and a half or something like that. But they have it posted when They think it's going to go off next, and it's all in all the gift shops, and they have it there. And they actually show like a little clock. Okay, it's going to go after 5 minutes after 2. Well, it's plus or minus 10 minutes with everything. Even flying on an airplane is plus or minus 10 minutes. But anyway.
Yeah, and I swear, Old Faithful, I was starting to believe we waited so long that Old Faithful wasn't as Old Faithful as everyone says it is. It was almost... Watching Old Faithful was like watching grass to grow, because the anticipation is building and you see it start to bubble and you see it start to bubble and then it goes back down. But mind you, all the people are filling up on the boardwalk all the way around to watch. So we got there in just the right time, front row seats, and then whoosh, she exploded. And mind you, it was an incredible experience. So we got to see Old Faithful. It did start to rain, but we walked through the old hotel lodge.
The old hotel lodge, which is a must-see, by the way, because I think it was built in the 20s or early 30s. It was part of the Works Project administration back in the day. So it might have been the late 20s, early 30s is when they built it. I forgot. I mean, I saw the plaque. I just forgot. And make sure you look up, because the stairways and all the levels of the intensity of how they built it with the wood is really cool.
Now, because of the drop in temperature for the day and it had just rained, the Grand Prismatic geyser was not as blue as necessarily you'll see like on Instagram or on Google. However, it still was an incredible experience. Some of the little other hot springs that you're going to see here, some of them still are really super bright, vibrant. But just to be able to walk through and see the bubbling formations on this ring of fire in our beautiful country was mind-blowing. After that, we went downtown as little tourists and to the local pub and eatery, and we got a loaded bison chili. That was phenomenal. Next up, you guys, on Skyways to Highways, we are back to Montana from Idaho and our Yellowstone National Park adventures to Glacier National Park, where we're going to stay on the west end of Glacier National Park for about 5 days. So we've got lots of great footage as we continue our journey across the border in the next video into Canada and through Jasper National Park, which is phenomenal in Canada, and we head closer and closer to Alaska.
And don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell, and you can hear Goldie barking.
Because she checks on a daily, you guys.
Thanks. We'll see you soon.
Thanks for watching.